Alright everyone, it's Tuesday, we're back. We're nearly at the end of another international break. And if you want a third bit of good news, we're just days away from Celtic's big return and the start of the Ultra Marathon. Better get training. I've been anything but training over the past week or so, to be fair. I've been enjoying myself, I've been my holidays, got a wee break from you, definitely needed that. To be fair, you probably needed a wee break from me more. So we both got what we wanted, and now we're back, ready to go at it for a pretty intense period. 4 months of uninterrupted football, no more breaks at all, and it's going to be pretty glorious. Yes, from this Saturday all the way until the middle of March, we'll have non-stop Celtic action. We'll play at least 25 matches over 113 days. I say at least 25. That's how many we're guaranteed to have at the moment, but we could have more if we advance in the Scottish Cup, the UEFA Champions League. We could have as many as 31 matches. I think a realistic total is 29. That would mean that we made the quarter-final of the Scottish Cup and the knockout round and no further in the UEFA Champions League. So, 29 matches in 113 days. Are you ready for that? It's going to be frantic. 4 different competitions, the whole squad getting used, so many matches to preview, enjoy, or dread, or review, or discuss, or whatever you want to do. We're going to be there every step of the way. Can you tell I'm quite excited for what's to come? And it all starts this Saturday night as we go to Tynecastle in what should be a cracking occasion. And yes, I did say Saturday night. It's going to be interesting going there on a Saturday night, just like we did in Ange Postecoglou's first ever league game. Didn't go so well, but clearly hoping for better things this weekend and expecting that as well. We'll have so much time to preview that game over the next few days, and it's on at a pretty good time for me as well. It'll mean that I'll get a decent sleep and be able to watch the game live. I don't know if that matters to you, but it's certainly good news. Right, today we're just going to take a look over the international stuff, see what our players have been getting up to over the past week or so, and then there's a few other things I want to discuss at the end. And as I say, the break is very nearly over. We've still got a few countries, I think 3 countries still to play a match that could involve Celtic players. Big well done to Scotland, by the way. I should probably have opened with that. I'm a little bit down on Scotland after the way the summer went at the Euros, but I guess the team deserves some credit. A big win over Poland last night, meaning that we avoid automatic relegation from UEFA Nations League Division A. And I'm struggling to care too much about that, but a couple of really good wins, back-to-back wins over Croatia at Hampden last week, and away in Poland, which was a pretty good result. In terms of Celtic stuff, Greg Taylor didn't feature in either of those matches. Guess Scotland are obviously blessed for left backs, even when Kieran Tierney isn't there. Anthony Ralston is the Scotland right back at the moment. I don't know how much longer that'll last. I think Aaron Hickey's back relatively soon. But Ralston played 90 minutes against Croatia and 76 against Poland. And those final 14 minutes that he didn't play against Poland were basically only 14 minutes of the match I saw. So I'm not totally sure how Anthony Ralston fared. I did look up a kind of player ratings article, and I think he got a 7, and he was described as having a solid enough game. So clearly Ralston's done all right there. Liam Scales, the only player we had away with the Republic of Ireland, no Adamida for them in this international break. Bit of a mixed time for Liam Scales. He had a really good game in Ireland's win over Finland last week, but he was then sent off at Wembley against England. It was a second yellow just at the start of the second half. To make matters worse, it was a penalty as well that the second yellow was earned for. So England got their opener. Liam Scales was sent off, and England went on to score 5 and beat Ireland 5-0. So clearly that was disappointing from Scales. I didn't see the game again. Common theme here during the international break, but certainly what I was hearing from a few people yesterday was that Scales was actually doing pretty well in the game, and Ireland were doing pretty well in the game up until that point. So hopefully his confidence hasn't been damaged too much. While he probably won't be starting too many games, certainly the biggest games, I feel now that Carter Vickers and Trusty is the partnership that Brendan Rodgers will go with. Clearly Liam Scales is still going to have a big part to play over the next 4 months and beyond. He's going to be coming off the bench, I think, a fair bit, as much as Rodgers doesn't tend to, in an ideal world, take centre-backs off. I think the fact you've got 5 subs now, and obviously we're still managing Carter Vickers to an extent, you're going to see Scales coming off the bench 60 minutes, I think, in the odd game, and probably starting the odd game as well. So he's still going to have an important part to play. Hopefully his confidence is just fine. There's no reason for it not to be. He's had a great season so far. Right, keeper-wise, Voljami Sinizalo continues to warm the bench for both club Celtic and country Finland. Don't know why I've said it like that. Kasper Schmeichel played both games for Denmark as they lost 2-1 to Spain and drew 0-0 against Serbia. He actually got the Player of the Match award for the clean sheet against Serbia. So that was all well and good. Arne Engels started both matches for a pretty new-look Belgium side. I think they're very much looking to the future during this Nations League campaign and bringing in a lot of younger players, and Engels is clearly part of Belgium's future, which I think says a lot. And he made a lot of changes. He's played both games. The games didn't go particularly well for Belgium though. They lost 1-0 to Italy and 1-0 to Israel as well, so not a great break for the Red Devils. Japan beat Indonesia 4-0. Daisen Maeda got virtually all of the second half as a sub. Reo Hatate got the last 10 minutes. And Kyogo got a nice comfy seat on the touchline to watch it all. They do have another game, as I said. They face China away later today. That's a noon kickoff on Tuesday UK time. So we may see more of our 3 players at that point. Japan are pretty much through as well. They're well clear of a group. I think Australia and Saudi Arabia are the second and third teams at the moment, so they're looking good for World Cup qualification. So maybe as time goes on, the pressure's off slightly. We might see a bit more of Hatate, Maeda, Kyogo as well. But I'm kind of happy for them also maybe not to play, given how many games we've got coming up. In terms of the CONCACAF Nations League, yes, there is such a thing. 3 of our players involved there. Luis Palma made headlines in Honduras. He scored both of their goals as they beat Mexico 2-0 last week. That's the first of 2 legs. The second leg of that is overnight. So overnight Tuesday going into Wednesday for you lot. I may watch that and let you know how Luis Palma gets on, but clearly a big confidence boost for him. I mean, scoring both goals to beat a country like Mexico for Honduras is a pretty big deal, I would say. But I guess only a big deal if they manage to complete the job and get through to the next round. And if they do, they could face Canada because they're in a good position. Alistair Johnson and Canada beat Suriname away in the first leg. They have the second leg overnight as well. So similar situation to Honduras. The first leg was Johnston's 50th cap for Canada. Afterwards, he tweeted, "Just feels right to earn my 50th cap in a match like that. A proper CONCACAF away day experience with the climate, travel and field conditions. Wouldn't have it any other way." Again, that just feeds into like Johnson's mindset. The thing I love about him is he's clearly a top player. I mean, named in the Copa America team of the tournament. He's a real top right back. So much quality on the ball, but he just never shies away from the ugly side of football. And I think that's what makes him such an important and kind of useful player to Celtic, because you just know that when we go up to, I know it's always up to Ross County, but just as an example, we go up to Ross County or away to St Johnstone, and maybe some Celtic players are just looking at it a bit kind of I'm not sure if I totally fancy this. You just know Alistair Johnson loves those games and games away to Suriname as much as he'll love the Champions League games or the Copa America games. You just get the impression every single match he plays for either Celtic or Canada is a huge honour, and he just gives it his all. So I just love that, and I love that tweet from him as well. The other team involved in the CONCACAF carry on is the USA. They've played both of their legs of their tie. They beat Jamaica 5-2. Austin Trusty got a full 4 minutes of the first leg. No Cameron Carter-Vickers in the squad for them during this break. Finally, in the international stuff, Paulo Bernardo played twice and even scored another goal as Portugal under-21s beat Slovakia 3-1 on Sunday. So more confidence for him. As I say, that international stuff pretty much over. Japan, Honduras, Canada is all we've got left. Fingers crossed everything goes well, and then we can all get back to Lennoxtown and move forward with the real football. One other wee bit of international related stuff that I saw yesterday, and you will no doubt have seen it by now, but I thought we could have a wee chat, are the comments from Germany boss Julian Nagelsmann on Nicholas Kuhn and the potential for Nicholas Kuhn and a couple of other players, Malik Thiaw and Jan Bisek, being called up for Germany. Now, Nagelsmann was asked about these players. He said, "We are focusing on all German players. Malik has been with the national team before, but has been out for quite some time recently. I think both he and Bisek are great players who still need to improve on some things. Kuhn is also a good player with a lot of desire. He's someone we're keeping an eye on, but calling up a new player always means excluding another." Yeah, Germany aren't exactly short of top level talent. I was having a look at their squad earlier. To be honest, I don't even need to read it out, but some of the wingers they have, the likes of Gnabry and Sané, I think Musiala can play on the wing as well. It's a reminder of what Nicholas Kuhn is up against to get any sort of game time. But I think the very fact that his name has been mentioned at a Julian Nagelsmann press conference by whoever in the German media shows that those in Germany are very aware of Kuhn. And why wouldn't they be, the more you think about it? Because Kuhn has done it at Champions League level now, but not just at Champions League level. He's done it against a Bundesliga team. So it will very obviously been a bit of a story in Germany, I guess. I don't know if Nicholas Kuhn is someone they would have been aware of anyway, given that he's played for a few teams there. It was obviously came through at Leipzig, and was it Bayern Munich he was at as well. But him doing it at Champions League level against Leipzig will have made headlines, and I think it's great news that Kuhn's even been mentioned. Whether he gets a call up for Germany while he's at Celtic, I think is a big ask when you look at the quality they have. But as I say, the fact there's a conversation about it now, I think is really good. Now, elsewhere, not actually a great amount of stuff Celtic-wise. Rio Hatate's given an exclusive interview with Celtic TV where he praised the Celtic support, saying, "Home or away, our fans are incredible. Their passion and loyalty are truly unique. It gives us a real strength of relief on the field. I have never played for another European team, but I don't think I have seen such passionate fans anywhere else. I'm always grateful for their support. Celtic fans pack the stadium with nearly 60,000 people every game, and their cheers are an immense source of strength for us. I'm thankful to all our fans, including those in Japan and Australia, who watch the matches despite the time difference. Knowing that they are cheering us on so far away is really motivating. I would like to thank them for staying up so late to support us." Gustav Lagerbielke, speaking about his future as well, he's not actually playing much at FC 20. I think he's been on international duty with Sweden. He seems to always be giving interviews to them when he's away, basically saying that he's enjoying it at 20. He's not sure whether he'll come back to Celtic and play next season or whatever. But if he's not featuring much at 20, you wonder if they would want to sign him permanently, if there'll be interest elsewhere. I don't think he's even started an Eredivisie game yet for them, so maybe not going too well for him. And also kit news. Now, the legends at Footy Headlines, who are almost always reliable with this kind of thing, have announced that Celtic's away kit next season will see a return to the famous Bumblebee. Now, that was last seen in the 2015-2016 season. You should remember that one. And they've been talking about this for a fair bit, Footy Headlines. And as I say, they're almost always bang on with this kind of stuff. I believe there's also been a mention of a a tartan-themed home kit, which immediately gives me the fear, given how wrong we got the home kit last season. For God's sake, don't mess with the hoops. Keep it simple like this year's, and it just works. But yeah, we'll wait and see what that looks like next year. But certainly the away kit is going to be the Bumblebee kit, the first Adidas Bumblebee. So that's going to be a pretty popular one with the Celtic support. That's what I meant to say. Okay, before we go today, a shout out to Paul Clement, who I've probably just made jump out of his skin. I assume it's Clement and not the French-Belgian way of saying it. For your sake, I hope it is, because if it's not, you might just burst out crying some stage soon and start making excuses for various things going wrong. Anyway, Paul, thanks very much for watching the channel, supporting what we do. Really appreciate it. I know you bumped into one of my pals, or you didn't bump into him, you work with him, so that's how I found out about you. And yeah, if you want to support the channel and in any way possible, really, we are nearly 11,000 subscribers. We're tantalisingly close to 11,000 subscribers. So if you fancy helping us get there by clicking that subscribe button, it costs absolutely nothing. It would really be appreciated. Yeah, very close to getting there, so thanks very much. We're fully back at things now. Looking forward to charging on with me and the rest of the gang. And yeah, if you're looking for a wee bit more content, you've missed them last week. We did record a couple of Q&A videos. I was joined by John and Asim, so that was good fun. So check them out if you've not already done that, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.